Good morning, good afternoon for those who are on the continent in Ghana. Your Excellency Ambassador Hajia Alima Mahama, Ghana Ambassador to the US, Ms. Ayesha Bedwei, President of AmCham Ghana, Mr. Yofi Grant, the CEO of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, US Chamber Board Member, AmCham Ghana board members, distinguished panelists, member of the media, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gabriel Yao. I'm the Executive Director of the US Chamber of Commerce, US Africa Business Center, with a preeminent policy voice in Washington, DC, on trade and investment between US and Africa. As you know, the US Chamber of Commerce, the world's largest business organization with more than 3 million members of all size, sector, and region. We just celebrated our 109 years this year. On behalf of the US Chamber of Commerce and AmCham Ghana, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome all of you to day 2 of the 2021 edition of the US Ghana Business Forum. Yesterday, if you followed, we had a very successful day and we're very gratified by 3 distinguished high-level address by the Honorable Minister of Trade and Investment from Ghana. We also had the Deputy Assistant of US Trade Representative for Africa and the US Ambassador to Ghana. We were also pleased to hear a statement from the Africa Continental Free Trade Secretariat, who discussed the US-Africa business relation in the context of the AfCFTA. Finally, we had a vibrant panel discussion by policy experts to discuss how to boost intra-Africa trade and investment through digitization and e-commerce. Today, you'll be listening to 2 important panel discussions, one on the prospects in Ghana extractive, energy and infrastructure sector, and another one on developing US-Ghana partnership in manufacturing, service and franchising. But before that, we will have the honor to hear from the new ambassador to the US, who will share her perspective on how to harness the diaspora to promote trade and investment between the US and Ghana. And we also hear from the CEO of GIPC, who will make a presentation on investment opportunities in Ghana for US investor in the context of the AfCFTA. In just a moment, I'm going to introduce the AmCham president, Ms. Ayesha Bedwei, who is our co-host. She will also be introducing the ambassador for her remarks. But before I do that, I would like to thank all our sponsors and partners. Our gold sponsor, Cummins, Cosmos Energy, Coca-Cola, our silver sponsor, Masco Food, KFC, Kemati and Partners, corporate attorney. I would like to also thank our partner for this event. We have the Ghana Embassy in Washington, DC. We have the US Commercial Service in Accra, the US Department of Commerce, based in Accra. We have the Ghana Investment Promotion Center and the Ghana Houston Chamber of Commerce. I would like now to turn to Ms. Ayesha Bedwei, who is the president of AmCham Ghana, our co-host. Just 2 words. Ms. Ayesha is a partner at PwC based in Ghana and specializes in tax advisory services focusing on energy sector. She has over 18 years of experience in finance and accounting. She holds leadership position within the PwC, an area of corporate responsibility and diversity and inclusion, responsible for PwC West African market. Without further ado, I would like to turn to Ayesha for her remarks. Ayesha, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Guevera. It's a pleasure to see everybody here again today for the 2nd time. Yesterday proved to be a very engaging and interesting discussion. And we know that today will be just and even more engaging, and thought-provoking. So I have the singular honor of introducing our first speaker of the day, and she is Her Excellency Hajia Alima Mahama, Ghana Ambassador to the United States. So Hajia Alima Mahama was appointed Ambassador of the Republic of Ghana to the United States of America in June 2021. She is a product of the Ghana Law School and was called to the bar in 1982. She holds a Master's of Arts degree in Development Studies with specialization in Regional Development Planning from the Institute of Social Studies, ISS, The Hague, Netherlands. Ambassador Mahama has a lot of qualifications, both leadership qualifications and also various fellowships, and she's a well-achieved woman. So I'm not going to go through everything, but I'm going to mention a few key points that I think are important for us to take note of. So prior to her appointment to the United States, Ambassador Mahama served as a member of Parliament for Local Government and Rural Development from 2017 to 2021. She was also a member of Parliament and Minister of Women and Children's Affairs from 2005 to 2009. Her passion for gender equality, development and growth of children has been evident throughout her career. And the ambassador made a huge contribution to the passage of the Domestic Violence Act and Human Trafficking Act, which we know are really huge issues in the world today. These acts were ratified, and also there were related conventions at the level of the African Union and the United Nations. She was also influential in the changes in Ghana's national health insurance law to improve maternal health. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like us to silently clap, because I know that we're all virtual now, and welcome Her Excellency Hajia Alima Mahama. Madam Ambassador, over to you now. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayesha, President of American Chamber of Commerce, Ghana. Good morning to our viewers in the United States, and good afternoon to our compatriots in Ghana and the continent. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, captains of industry in Ghana and the United States and potential investors, I bring you warm greetings from the Embassy of Ghana in Washington, D.C. I thank the organizers of this important forum, the American Chamber of Commerce Ghana, AmCham Ghana, the United States Chamber of Commerce, for inviting me to deliver remarks on harnessing the diaspora to promote trade and investment between our two countries. The US and Ghana have enjoyed a strong and productive bilateral relationship for many decades, and I've so far enjoyed my stay in the US. I've started engagements with stakeholders to advance Ghana's interests. Let me from the onset thank the government and people of the United States of America for the general support to Ghana with donation of vaccines doses. Indeed, business can only flourish in a healthy environment. We are confident that Ghana will emerge from this pandemic with a more resilient and robust economy due to strong leadership and the country's many assets. Ghana has a stable macroeconomic environment, political stability, and Ghana is also the fastest in mobile money marketing. And with the introduction of the QR code payment solution, we are simplifying merchant payments and reducing the use of cash. To maximize investment potentials, a number of reforms are ongoing, including the business regulatory reforms. And as you know, His Excellency President Nana Akufo-Addo has said that growing Ghana's economy is the priority for his second term in office, and therefore a priority of the embassy and myself. Ghana's economic access is not only in Ghana, but outside the country's borders, our diaspora. Diaspora investors are likely to hold an emotional tie to the country. They invest their money not just to grow their own wealth, but to grow the wealth of Ghana as a nation. Ghana's global diaspora of about 4 million sends home billions of dollars a year in remittances. Even the global economic downturn caused by COVID-19, remittances to Ghana actually increased last year by 5% to 3.6 billion, according to the World Bank. But diaspora investment is not just about remittances. Ghana is looking to further leverage the power of our diaspora for trade and investment, including in the short term, raising up to 1 billion in diaspora bonds on international capital markets. As ambassador to the United States, I have the opportunity and the honor of engaging with one of Ghana's most dynamic diaspora communities here in the United States. As a result of over 7 decades of immigration, today the US is home to more than 200,000 Ghanaian immigrants and their children, first and second generation Ghanaian Americans. There are also millions more who can trace their ancestry to the then Gold Coast, now Ghana. With the huge success of the Year of Return in 2019, the government of Ghana demonstrated the tremendous untapped economic and social potential of this group. The Year of Return was a celebration of the resilience of our people and their descendants. It is our way of showing the global diaspora that you have a home in Africa and in Ghana. For many Americans who came, the Year of Return was a spiritual journey to reclaim their birthright. Yes, it was not only a spiritual journey and a huge success for the tourism industry. The Year of Return became an inspiration to thousands of African-American visitors. We are very happy about their contribution to Ghana, and they came in to consider investing in Ghana or even moving into the country and starting a business. It was also an inspiration to the government of Ghana to transform emotional and historical ties into tangible economic ones. To capitalize and strengthen these ties, the government of Ghana indeed launched Beyond the Return Secretariat and is considering legislation in this regard. The government of Ghana has formally acknowledged the importance of the diaspora and the valuable contribution that they are making to Ghana. The recognition has led to the decision to develop a diaspora policy that will span all government institutions at all levels. The diaspora engagement process includes identifying engagement goals, mapping diaspora geography and skills, and mobilizing the diaspora to contribute to sustainable development. The diaspora desk at the Office of the President, in collaboration with government institutions, seeks to facilitate, encourage, promote investments, as well as provide attractive incentives for diaspora to build and maintain a healthy economic relationship between Ghana and the diasporan community. Indeed, the diasporan engagement policy is currently going through stages of review and approval. However, there are some tentative incentives planned as outlined, and I believe the CEO of GIPC is helping them in this regard. Some of the incentives include concessionary taxes, facilitating and speeding up permits and licenses, custom duty exemption, transfer of funds in respect of loans, transfer of funds to any location in case of liquidation, and determining that defining diaspora as a domestic investor with its advantages of relying on certain local incentives, for example, custom duty, import duty exemption, and income tax holidays. It also intends to put in place a Ghana origin identity card. And this will allow for all rights of citizens except the right to vote and to be elected in public office. So the office of the Diasporan Office is engaging and working hard, and our plans is also to work with the Diasporan community to input into this process. It is important for me to also indicate that with the location of the African Continental Free Trade in Accra, Ghana is poised to become the business capital of Africa. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there is no doubt that the combination of AfCFTA, government initiatives, and the talents of the diaspora will have the potential to really create a whole new future for Ghana. In this regard, it's important we take advantage of the unified platform for the diaspora and the US companies to engage more directly with the private sector in Ghana to facilitate deal making and information sharing between peers and harness the financial and skilled resources of the diaspora for investment in critical sectors of the Ghanaian economy. From the perspective of knowledge and skill, we must promote the diaspora as an important source and facilitator of research and innovation, technology transfer, and skills development. As Ghana's ambassador to the US, I'm in the process of setting up an advisory board composed of well-accomplished personalities with varied backgrounds in industry. Their role would be to provide strategic advice to the embassy and government on how we can harness numerous investments and trade opportunities between US and Ghana. In addition to the board, the embassy would collaborate with US-Ghana Chamber of Commerce in the various states in the US, the United States Chamber of Commerce, and US think tanks to engage US companies and businesses to find markets for made in Ghana products. My embassy is dedicated to engaging the 63 or more US-based Ghanaian diaspora organizations for the purpose of making these groups the pivot of investment promotion in Ghana. I'm encouraged by the partnership, and I look forward to strengthening a true alternating this annual event between Ghana and the United States. We will plan and implement roundtable discussions on the Ghana diaspora policy to share information, generate input, and ensure acceptance and implementation. The embassy plans to zone economic sectors and work with graduate researchers and the Ghanaian community leaders to generate information on these sectors as they relate to businesses in Ghana. Trade section of the embassy would also work on developing some 3-page short document that clearly highlight the opportunities in Ghana. This information will be posted on the webpage of the embassy website. In collaboration with the chambers of commerce in the various states, we plan to organize trade tours across the US to, among others, identify trade agents to represent the mission and look for opportunities for Ghana, as well as educate Ghanaians about the opportunities available. While pursuing the digitization of our passport and visa issuance, we will pay attention to your concerns to expedite issuing of visa and passport for all, but more so for persons on business trips. We also need your suggestions on how to improve on trade and investment between Ghana and the diaspora. So please send your suggestions to the trade section of the embassy. And the email is trade@ghanaembassydc.org, trade@ghanaembassydc.org. Distinguished guests, our objectives will be fully achieved through creating a relationship of trust between the diaspora on one hand and the governments of Ghana and the USA on the other. The African continent is an attractive investment destination. It remains the continent with the fastest growing economies and will remain a competitive investment destination for decades to come. The case for investing in Ghana is therefore stronger than ever. Let us work together for our mutual benefit. We as government will do our part to ease your way. We need you, our diaspora, Ghana's people and their descendants scattered throughout the world, to bring your tremendous skills and resources back to Ghana. As many other speakers yesterday and today can tell you, the opportunities are there, and Ghana is your home. Come and let's work together to build our country and make it strong. We are waiting to welcome you home. Thank you for your attention. I yield back.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for this wonderful address to the diaspora. I think the call is heard. Really very passionate about how to harness the diaspora to promote trade and investment between the US and Ghana. We will again like to take this opportunity to welcome you to Washington, DC. We're looking forward to continue working with your office. Thank you very much. Now, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce Mr. Yofi Grant. Next slide. My distinct pleasure to introduce Mr. Yofi Grant, the CEO of Ghana Investment Promotion Center. He will be making a presentation on investment opportunities in Ghana for the US investors in the context of the AfCFTA. Just to let you know, Mr. Grant has over 3 decades of successful business careers and experience in investment and banking and finance, as he held the Ghana Investment Promotion Agency under the office of the President of Ghana. He is well known in the field of market and investment. Mr. Yuffie is an accomplished leader an attribute that transcends beyond his country borders, where he's in key financial, he plays a key role as a financial policy advisor. He is a council member of the Continental Business Network of the African Union and a member of the Board of Trustees of the OACP Endowment and Trust Fund, on the steering board of the World Association of Investment Promotion Agency, WIPA, representing the Sub-Saharan Africa. Mr. Yofi continue to serve on a number of private and public sector boards. He is known as also a fellow of the Aspen Global Leadership Network. Mr. Yofi Grant, my good friend, I would like to turn the floor to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother Guevara. And it's my pleasure to once again be talking to you all. I think that by now, the Ghana opportunity, no doubt, has been recognized globally. And it's interesting that this morning I got a message that told me that the Global Business Forum in Dubai has rated Ghana and Rwanda as the biggest opportunities and most attractive opportunities on the Africa continent. And so I am delighted to be speaking to you to let you understand what this means and how we can work together to ensure that we leverage the relationships that we form for our mutual benefit. First of all, I always say the Ghana story is the story of the 3 O's. And I always say to my audience that you should always remember these 3 O's. The first one, of course, is opportunity. And before I let you know the specific opportunities, maybe it may serve you well to know that Ghana is the center of the world. We are the only country on latitude 0 and longitude 0. And you know that everything radiates from the center. And it's indeed instructive that many years back, Ghana spearheaded the political emancipation of the continent of Africa. And we are once again repositioned to spearhead the industrial and financial emancipation of the continent and making it a credible partner in the community of nations and the global financial markets. But indeed, as I did say, we are opportunities rich. Ghana is endowed with several mineral resources: gold, diamond, bauxite, iron ore, oil and gas, lithium, and manganese, many ornamental minerals. And then, of course, we also have a significant amount of land, arable land, that could be used could be irrigated and used to ensure food security, not just in Ghana, but also the potential of being the breadbasket of the southern part of the West Africa region. And indeed, all these opportunities have recently culminated in a policy outcome or a policy direction of adding value to our raw materials and resources to climb up the value chain of exports. For over 60 years, the country has been exporting its raw materials, particularly cocoa and gold in the raw form, and it hasn't enabled us create real significant wealth. So more recently, the government of President Nana Akufo-Addo formulated a certain ecosystem or architecture of transformation that will first create opportunity for our young people, but also ensure that we can have the opportunities of wealth creation through partnerships and engagements and linkages. So we had policies like the One District, One Factory, which simply said that we should enable the construction and the implementation of value addition entities or factories in each of the 260 districts that we have. The real intention is not just to put a factory in a district, but to make sure that we have at least one. And the intention is to have hundreds in each district, because that is a way in which we can then take advantage of the resources we have and add value to them and be able to export. And so this positioning around the country in itself creates significant opportunity. Then, of course, for us to be able to do that meant that we needed to change the structure of the human capital that we have. So we put in a policy of quality-free senior high school to make sure, to ensure that in the medium term, the minimum education level of the average Ghanaian or the Ghanaian will be high school education. This would definitely make better for retraining and re-equipping our young people to be able to participate in a transformation economy where we are adding value to our goods and then selling them or exporting them. And I believe it is worth the while. And in the first 2 years of this policy, over 1.2 million young kids have gone back to school. This definitely has better, projections of the kind of the caliber of people we have in the future than if it wasn't there at all. But then also we recognize, being an agricultural nation, that it's important to ensure food security, because if you don't have food security, then you are at the mercy of other players who give you your food. And so government put in the new policy of planting for food and jobs, and one village, one dam, first of all, to ensure all year-round productivity and production, but also to ensure that we optimize our agricultural opportunities and potential by having more young graduates go back to the field and ensure we increase our yields. Firstly, for consumption, but also to serve as the foundations of our industrial economy by processing, and then also for export. I dare say that over the past 4 years, these policies have culminated in some success of developing our economy. And from 2017 through to 2019, and prior to the COVID years, Ghana's economy was growing at an average of 7% per annum, one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Even with COVID, we did not go into recession. We're one of the 27 countries globally that did not go into negative growth. We had positive growth, although we did not achieve the targets that we had set pre-COVID. And looking forward, we are projecting an economy that will grow at a minimum of 5% in 2021, and then over the medium term. Now, all these have happened because we actually looked at our opportunities and decided that we had to optimize and monetize these opportunities for growth. And in looking at the opportunities that we have, 2 of the SDGs were paramount in guiding that process. One being that of poverty alleviation, and the last being partnerships and linkages. And that is what motivates us to go out day in, day out to speak to potential investors, to speak to the Ghanaians and the Africans in the diaspora, to come engage with us, partner with us to exploit these opportunities for mutual benefit. And as the ambassador said not too long ago, that opportunity is not just for economic and financial gains. There is cultural leverage, there is partnerships for strategic basis. And our relationship with the United States of America is very strategic, as well as very mutually beneficial. And so we need to leverage on that and build back better post-COVID. Now, the second O is openness, Openness, because we are in an era where we are transforming, but we are reforming to do things properly and ensure that we engage properly as well. And in those reforms, one of the most important to us is to insist and maintain political stability, because that is what almost every investor wants to see. It's very important to ensuring that your economy is predictable, there's predictability, and then one can plan and execute. But beyond that, there's also a strong engagement between government and the private sector. And government has clearly stated that they would support the private sector as a partner in this development endeavor and in this making sure that this ecosystem of transformation is a reality. And so a lot of the opportunities that we have are there open for engagement with the private sector. And we've recently set up a PPP law, a public partnership law, that will guide the process in partnerships with the government, but also undergoing strong reforms to make sure that the private sector is enabled and efficient. And beyond that, build a true Ghana beyond aid, where we will build our economy not based on handouts and gifts, but on true partnerships and our energies focused into development. And so we are very clear on the plan. And I think it's that clarity on the plan that makes Ghana special, that we are very clear on what we want to achieve, and we will engage to ensure that we achieve that. And strategic engagements are very important to that. And partnerships are key to that as well. The last O is we are very optimistic. We are extremely optimistic about where we want to go and how we're going to go about it. And so in recent times, we've realized that Ghana's name has become pretty prominent as being the most attractive place to invest in West Africa, but also we are seen as pretty politically stable. But strategically, we have also positioned ourselves to achieve and succeed in this endeavor of developing the country and making it a wealthy country. Indeed, two of the president's real aspirations in speaking to him are: one, to make Ghana a hub for West Africa, and two, to make Ghana one of the best places to do business and invest on the African continent. And it's therefore not surprising that Ghana was chosen to be the headquarters or to host the headquarters of the African Continental Free Trade Area. And I believe that is what really we should be speaking about now. And that despite the fact that Ghana remains an attractive investment opportunity, the opportunity transcends us. And Ghana wants to reposition itself as a real entry point into that whole opportunity. As you know, the AfCFTA creates the single largest tariff-free market since the WTO. Currently, Africa has a population of approximately 1.3 billion people. And this is expected to grow to the extent that by 2050, Africa will be 1/4 of the world's population. It will be larger than India, it will be larger than China, it will be larger than America and Europe put together. That is a significant opportunity waiting to happen. And Africa is repositioning on the same trajectory as Ghana is, as going beyond aid to trade, to ensure that we become a willing partner to world development. As I did say, by 2050, Africa will be 1/4 of the world's population, but the continent will still have not less than 30% of the world's mineral resources. As we speak, Africa, a continent of 54 states and with approximately 17% of the world population, is host to 90% of the world's platinum resources, 90% of the world's cobalt resources, 75% of the world's coltan resources. And we all know what coltan, how important coltan is today. Africa is also well imbued with large deposits of lithium, and which of course Ghana is also well endowed. And then Africa has 50% of the world's gold, 67% of the world's manganese, and about 35% of the world's uranium. So the continent itself is rich. But the beneficiation of these resources is what is really going to create the wealth. And that is where Ghana has repositioned itself to ensure that we actually drive this industrialization agenda on the continent. Ghana, as I did say, is without doubt attractive as an investment destination and gives rewarding returns. And we really crave for the necessary partnerships that will make sure that this happens. Our relationship and our positioning with America is extremely strategic for various reasons. But as Ghana stands right now as a beacon of hope in a region of turmoil, it's important that Ghana succeeds and becomes wealthy, because that is a way in which we can actually replicate what we have on the rest of the sub-region and into the continent. And so we are engaged in this industrialization agenda, making sure that we add value to our resources. And once again, to jump back to the Africa story, for a continent that is so wealthy in resources and people, isn't it strange that we are import dependent? We actually export our raw materials and import finished goods out of those raw materials. But the motivation in Ghana is to strongly reverse that we add value to our resources in situ on our continent, and then export our finished goods. And that is what is going to make the continent richer. And by enriching the continent, we believe that the future of our youth is guaranteed. Because what I said is that in 2050, we'll be 1/4 of the world's population. But guess what? The demography of that population is extremely important to global dynamics because 60% of that population will be less than 30 years. Indeed, it's estimated that about 70% will be less than 35 years. So it is actually a market waiting to happen. And if not well developed, it could actually also be a disaster waiting to happen. But we are very positive and very sure that Africa's development, spearheaded by Ghana, is imminent and would happen. Indeed, if you look at the past 10 years, the 10 fastest growing economies in the world, 7 have been from Africa. And we believe that we are going to see a lot more of that happen in the very near future. As a country that has very good strategic relationships, I believe that it's important to highlight what these relationships mean to us. I suspect that Ghana might be the place that the American investor should focus on. And in fact, it shouldn't be that I suspect. In reality, it should be, and for various reasons. And I've said so because I said that we are, our relationship with the US is very strategic. Strategic in the sense that we offer the continent to the US on much more conducive terms than many other countries would. Having the strategic relationship, first of all, means that it's in our common interest to ensure that those interests are facilitated through the opportunities that we have, but also through the engagements that we have, like today's engagement. And so I am very happy to be speaking this afternoon to convince you that we are really well positioned to engage with a US investor to find out exactly what would make them successful in our country, Ghana, and work with them to ensure that it happens. And so we are speaking with some of the major US companies who we believe should be in Africa now to prepare for the future. And it's instructive that we have Twitter announce that it was come to put its regional headquarters in Ghana, and United Airlines says they would make Ghana the Africa hub, and Google puts its artificial intelligence headquarters in Ghana. But we are also speaking to other players like Amazon, like Microsoft, like Apple, and creating the space for them to operate efficiently for a very strong and emerging African market. The areas that we see as strategic areas for us are predicated on a plan that we call the Ghana Cares Obatampa project. Now, the Ghana Cares project, and Ghana Cares just means that COVID alleviation and revitalization of enterprises support project or program, is to build back better and build back stronger. And as I did say, prior to COVID years, Ghana was a strong economy, one of the fastest growing economies in the world, growing at an average of 7%. And COVID hit, major disruptions globally, and we were not spared. But I also, once again, dare to say that even during the COVID time, Ghana has demonstrated that it's one of the countries that had one of the best preparedness plans to curtail the impact on lives and livelihoods. And today, our numbers relatively are stronger in terms of dealing with the virus than many others. But we touch wood that we were able to manage going forward, even in the light of COVID nationalism. We are able to beat the virus, and together with our partners in the US and the world all over, I believe that we'll beat the virus. And so I would like to extend sincere gratitude to the United States government for donating 1.22 million vaccines of Moderna to the government and the people of Ghana recently. I believe that is a good indication of what is to come in the future, the strong and strategic relationships that we're going to have in the future. So let me just quickly run through some of the strategic opportunities that exist for which we will come knocking at the doors of the US investor and harness the opportunities that also exist for the Africans in the diaspora to contribute to this marvelous story of Ghana and how we'll grow together. One of the strategic, should I say, opportunities we have is in manufacturing. And I did say we are converting our economy or changing the direction of our economy from the export of raw materials into one of processing. So manufacturing and industrialization is a key opportunity that we are working to ensure will return significant returns, but also help us build back better. And the food processing area is one of the key attractions over there because Ghana is an agricultural country. We are also looking to increase production. So we'll be speaking to American farmers and other companies like Del Monte and all those other processes to come locate in the Ghana market and build for the African demand. But it's just not in food that we will be seeking manufacturers, but also in what I would call small-scale electricals and small-scale engineering products. And as you well know, Ghana recently, in its industrialization plan, established what we would call an automotive agenda, which we would actually set up an automotive special economic zone to attract operators and manufacturers in the automotive sector, not just for Ghana, but for export into Africa. And I'm pleased to say we have VW already in there. We have Sinotruk from China. We have Nissan and Toyota already knocking at our doors, and Renault and Suzuki also looking to come in, and Honda from Japan. We believe that there is enough room in there for American companies, especially those in the manufacturing of agricultural machinery, to come to Ghana to export to the continent. The continent has significant agricultural opportunities, and I believe that to find a foothold on the continent to which to distribute goods and services makes a lot of sense. We also have significant infrastructure opportunities in transportation and in distribution. And as we are in the center of the world, I would like to also say that we've built one of the biggest ports in Africa, the Tema port, which is capable of handling 3.5 million TEUs of trade traffic. And therefore, that in itself gives us a huge advantage in being a player and facilitating the objectives of the AfCFTA. But there are others as well. We would look to build a new airport that would facilitate logistics to and from Ghana and make Ghana the center of distribution into the continent. So we are looking for investors into that space. We already have an opportunity in the roads and railway sector where we are expanding our railways with 4,007 kilometers of new railways and about 11,000 kilometers of roads. We are very keen on ensuring that we have an efficient, integrative transportation infrastructure that integrates roads, rail, water, and air. And to that regard, I'll also like to thank the American government for supporting us in setting up an MRO facility in Ghana to service planes. I believe that in itself would open the doors for investors in the aviation sector to find Ghana as a soft landing into Africa. And then without doubt, we are looking for investment in the science and education sector because education is critical to achieving our long-term goals. We are looking for investors who come in to facilitate education, investments in science, investments in research and development, and investments in education to take advantage of the African opportunity. As I did say, in the near future, Africa would have the manpower and the labor pool to actually drive the world's next growth. And this is a time to ensure that we make the right investments to take advantage of that. I'm happy to say that we are speaking to a number of American companies in the technology space and also in the BPO space. to take advantage of the opportunities and the space that we offer in Ghana. We will also look, and I did say we look at manufacturing. We also speak to the big exports from the US to Africa and attract the manufacturers to actually have outposts in Ghana and be able to export to the continent. The continent, as I've said already, will be the biggest consumer or consumer bloc in the near future, and we need to be prepared for that. And so we are looking at some of the big players there. And of course, finance would also be one of the areas for which we would be looking for investment to ensure that we can facilitate and fund the next wave of development that would benefit the African continent in a strategic way. The other areas are, as I mentioned, technology and real estate. Real estate because we have a significant housing deficit, and we are attracting the private sector to play a role in real estate development and manufacturing of inputs into the real estate sector. These are just about a few of the opportunities that we'd like to put in front of you. But health and education are critical. Finance is critical. Infrastructure is critical. And so at the GIPC, we would be there to facilitate your entry into the market. And we are very open to engagement and discussions. And this time around, we would want you to tell us what you want us to do to make it happen for you in Ghana. Because we are ready and we are right for the necessary partnerships and engagements. And we are looking forward that we can walk the talk and walk into a very attractive future of mutual benefit. So I will hold on here and we're ready to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you very much. And I yield the floor back to my very good friend, Guevera.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yofi Grant. I think for making a very strong case to Ghana being at the center of the world, a very prime investment destination. Thank you very much.
In this shifting, driven world, the one thing you can be sure of is change. It's tough to stay ahead, but that's okay, just as long as you always know who to count on. We are Cummins. We create the power solutions people depend on. It's what we've done for more than 100 years. Sure, all that history makes us proud, but the future pulls us forward.
Babe, I'm at KFC. Do you want anything?
I'm actually not that hungry, babe.
I'm actually not that hungry, babe.
Coming right up.
Are you sure?
I just ate.
Add an extra, I just ate.
Got it.
But
I'm fine, don't get me anything, okay?
Try the new KFC Dual Bucket. 4 delicious pieces of KFC chicken, 4 crispy golden strips and chips. The perfect sharing meal for two.
see you now, babe.